Welcome to Immigration Insights with Abir Amin. We are excited to be starting our new podcast series about the H-2B visa. And of course, we're joined today by Abir Amin. Welcome, Abir.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing today?
Great. How about yourself?
Good.
Good to have you here today. Really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. I know you're extremely busy, so we do appreciate your willingness to take the time out to just kind of go through and provide a lot of information and insights. I know you've been working in immigration law for many years and have a lot to offer. So we're excited to have this opportunity to just go through a lot of the information that we'll be covering through this series.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start episode 1 about the H-2B visa is primarily going to just be an overview. So that's kind of a high level overview of what the H-2B visa is. I'm sure there's a lot of people that, have never heard of it, don't know anything about it, don't realize what a beneficial program it can be for employers, especially in the times we're in now where it's becoming increasingly difficult to find workers. So this is a program certainly that can benefit a lot of employers, but a lot of people don't know about it. So that's the main, focus for this first episode is just a high level view of what the H-2B visa is and just to get a little bit better understanding of it. And then as we progress through these episodes, we'll dig deeper into it to get some more understanding and insight about how exactly it works. So to begin with, the H-2B visa, how long has this program been around?
So it's been around for many years. It started around 1986. When something like this happens, when there are a lot of proponents in Congress looking at the economy, seeing what is missing, what the business owners need. One of the biggest things that they look for is human capital, right? And so they focused on industries that are always seeking help and never have enough workers. And those industries are like the forefront of American economy. So it has been around 1986 as a result of that, movement and, immigration law is a product of rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are put forth by, Congress. And so around 1986, it's been started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since it was started in 1986, is it a program that's been widely used, right from the get-go, or is it something that kind of slow moving to begin with and recently is more widely used? Or
You'll be surprised. Even before pre-COVID, Jim, H-2B visas has been like hot buns in a cold weather, just because there's never enough visas. Every visa category in immigration law, there's a allotted number of visas, right? And for H-2B visas, it's we are allowed to have 66,000 visas per year in a fiscal year.
Okay.
And that is divided into 2 increments. And every year, the visa gates close down, and there are employers who are advocating, lobbying for more visas to be opened up. And from time to time, the Department of Labor, the USCIS, has opened up a little bit more visas than originally they were initiated, right? But even that closes down so quickly. So every year you do see some more allotment than 60,000, but even then they close down so easily in increments of 5,000 additional, 10,000 additional. It's like everyone is waiting in line. So
wow.
Since the VISA's inception, it's always been a very, very popular category. It's never enough,
When they add more visas each year, so, if they make enough noise and they decide they're going to add some more, is that automatically added again the next year, or does it always reset back to the same amount each year and then they just kind of wait and see what happens?
So what usually happens is that, you'll be surprised if for example, 33,000 have been used in the first fiscal year. There are more people advocating for more, there's more pressure. And we're in the second round, right? In the second run of the fiscal year, when they will start adding a little bit more, even though we're employers are doing the second run or following the second round, they added in the first half, right? The first half have increased.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like you never know when they're going to add it. The little email bursts that we get from the USCIS saying that, we will be adding soon. The USCIS has agreed that they will go ahead and add 5,000 more visas. When is the question? We never get that. So the
Yeah.
when question is like at the morning of that we just opened up 5,000 more visas. Go ahead, grab some, right?
Wow. So you just have to be ready.
To be ready. And
Wow.
that's the most frustrating part for both the attorneys and the employers.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay. So what's the difference between the H-2B visa and the H-2A visa?
okay, so the major difference between H2A is H2A is mostly for agricultural, right?
Okay.
For farmers. And H2B is for non-agricultural industries. You may have several industries like landscaping, construction, hotels, amusement parks.
Okay.
So that's a big difference. Non-agricultural is H2B, and agricultural is H2A.
Got it. Okay. So for the H-2B visa, since that's our focus on this series, you mentioned some industries. Are those probably the most common industries that make use of this visa, or are there others that it's more common and more prevalent, or what would you say are the main industries for this?
So I feel the top three industries that really use that benefit from the H2B visas are your landscaping industries, your construction industries, and then your amusement parks. Which are then followed by your cleaning companies, your entertainment companies, your pool companies and stuff like that. But top three are landscaping, absolutely, construction workers, construction companies, and
Okay.
then amusement parks. Yeah.
Okay. And why is that the case? Is it just something about the H-2B visa that
Yeah.
just makes it more ideal for these industries, or?
Yeah, it's not only about the H-2B visas, which makes them like which makes this ideal for those industries. It's construction companies and landscaping companies honestly have a very hard time recruiting and keeping people, employees. And then they also have a very short period of, like a little short period of time in which they produce the most revenue of their business. In most of the states, United States, we have all seasons, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then those industries are, they are busy. They have to produce the most. They have to make the most of the year, of the generate most of the revenue of the year in those few months, and then they have contracts that they have to make sure that they abide by, and so they need more workers than they have as their full-time employees, and those industries are also where you would see full-time employees also that they get worn out very easily,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Because they have a lot of the nature of the occupation in itself. So it's always those industries that always are looking for more workers to meet the business demand.
Got it.
Business need.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. So start to finish, I know that's a grueling process, a lot of steps. So what would be kind of a time estimate, start to finish? How long would it take to go through the steps necessary to hire H-2B visa workers?
I feel it's a lot of pressure on the employers, and which is then trickle down to the attorneys in terms of
Sure.
the time span, right? I feel when a company starts to think about H-2B visas, they really need to figure out, okay, if I am, for example, a construction company, and most of my business occurs during summertime, right? I need to start the process in winter, so when the summer months come, I have a workforce ready for my contracts.
Hmm.
Um, for it, like in a, like to summarize, it takes at least a couple of months for an employer to secure the H-2B visas.
Okay.
When I'm saying to secure H-2B visa, that doesn't include the foreign nationals coming in, right? Most of the time, we have clients who are Fortune foreign nationals are from the, from the triangle area, right? You're from Honduras, from Mexico, from Nicaragua, from a lot of Latin American countries.
Mm.
So for them to come here is a matter of day, but then there are other employers who have their foreign nationals, right? They're workers coming from Jamaica or from other countries that are not, it's not just a matter of crossing the border. They have to make sure they have to go to the consulate for the visa. They have to get it stamped.
Okay.
And then, making sure the flights are all available, so that is something that takes time in itself. So several months easily. So an employer needs to just need to keep in mind from the time I decide and until the time I get my H-2B visa for my workers for the company is going to take at least 6 to 7 months,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
Active 6 to 7 months. And before that, there's homework that needs to be done so that those 6 to 7 months are beneficial, right?
Yeah. Okay. And we were enjoying our discussion so much with Abir about the H-2B visa that time kind of got away from us. And so the episode ended up being twice as long as we had planned. So we're going to end part one of the H-2B visa overview episode here. And I encourage you to come back and join us for part two so that you can hear the rest of this interesting and enlightening discussion that we had with Abir about the H-2B visa and just kind of laying the groundwork with the overview and understanding of what the H-2B visa is. So come back and see us for part two.